Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Kuni. Let's continue here. Sorry, the audio is just blaring as I'm loading in and talking. So, yeah, we've got this dragon after what I suspect may be the only dragon fight in the game. Oddly, I think we're probably further along towards the second act of this game of a three-act play, but honestly, this could just be the halfway point. Like, I could see things changing, certainly, and just having to travel the entire world a second time, uh, just to grind up and get stronger. We need to talk to this guy, and that probably means we need to cast the spell so we can talk to them. Nature's Tongue. Nothing here. Maybe we just need to heal. Hmm. Interesting. Just walk closer, I guess. Whimper. Crikey, this dragon looks like he'd lose a fight with a fly, mon. Not like the one we just fought. Proper feisty he was. Well, he is sick, Mr. Drippy. What's up with you then, tinny boy? Wing rot, is it? Touch of hornache? Kya. Come on, mon. We can't help you if you just stand there growling like that. Groaning like that. I guess he's trying to say something to us in, dragon. You sure, Ollie boy? Well, if you say so, let's have a listen then. Ollie, you mean? Flippin' heck, come on, look lively with you. How many animals have you spoken to now? And you still don't know what to do? Cast that spell, ain't it? I did know. I was just going to say that. Hmm. This is kind of a great example, too. If you had taken a break, as I have, been unforced to taking a break, uh, very easy to forget Nature's Tongue as a spell. Very easy to forget a lot of it. Um, It's interesting how the in-game cutscene doesn't have the characters, and then they jump to a 3D cutscene that does have all the characters. It probably would have been nicer if just all the characters followed you the whole time. Of course, that is a waste of rendering power, but uh, that kind of consistency is something you could certainly like to see in the newest of generations of RPG games. Is get rid of the shortcuts and the tricks that existed in previous RPGs where they had to save the number of pixels on screen and they had to render less and go with a lower quality of um, rendering. Of course, this one trick is more than acceptable for the game to have if they had fixed the problem with a lack of voice acting for the vast majority of the dialogue, but then also some voice acting just enough to tease you and irritate you that it could exist, and then also a lack of consistent animation in this game, in that you have the Ghibli animations that are extremely rare and really are just bait and switch animations. Um, and certainly that bait and switch worked amazingly well because there's effectively a Netflix Nino Kuni TV series that I don't think Ghibli actually worked on at all. There's a Nino Kuni 2, which I don't think Studio Ghibli actually worked on at all. And there's the now Nino Kuni, I think it's called Crossworlds mobile game. So by having it in your very first game extremely sparsely, you've now associated in people's minds that this is a Ghibli style animation when it really the game, particularly these 3D models, are not Ghibli style animations at all. Um, they might be somewhat inspired by Studio Ghibli and Ghibli's characters, but that they really are not that animation style at all. And I don't think Studio Ghibli has ever really dived into the realm of doing 3D animation at all. So, but they, even if they had, it doesn't really matter. They're not known for that. I'm getting distracted here. Hello, Tingri. We wanted to talk with you if that's okay. We've heard that you're a bit poorly, ain't it? Tell us what's up, man. Maybe we can help, like. Dot dot dot. Look, he's scared, aren't you? Tingri, poor thing. There, we won't hurt you. Don't be frightened. His wings look very torn up. You want to fly again, don't you, Tingri? Why don't you tell us what's wrong? Alright. Yeah. If they were gonna do only partial voice acting, they could at least do you the favor of having a line of dialogue voiced with the first interaction. Then, at the very least, I could know what voice to do if I was reading this out loud in my head or just reading it out loud for a YouTube channel. Like, um, and try and kind of match that voice. I'm no voice actor, certainly, but it would give me some sort of direction because I really don't know if Tingri here is supposed to be big, dopey, idiot type voice, or if he's supposed to be a deep, strong, powerful voice, aged, wise voice. Um, it could be anything. Go on. I feel strange. There's a me who isn't me, another me, and he's sick, so I can't fly. Another Tingri. Do you think he means? Of course, he's got a soulmate over in Ollie Boy's world, ain't it? You mean back in Motorville? Like Myrtle and I. But Tingri's a dragon. That happens too, eh, Ollie Boy? We've seen people with animals for soulmates before, ain't it? Have we? Who has an animal for a soulmate? Hmm. I guess maybe the shop owner technically was soulmate with the giant cow lady, but I that didn't even really occur to me, and I don't. I really, off the top of my head, can't even think of any more characters in Motorville. So, who possibly is this person going to be? I imagine it's just going to be like a bird, like a tiny little pigeon or something. Um, Otherwise, it's going to be somebody that we've just not even met before. You mean like Timmy and King Tom? Hmm. What? That's not the example I was thinking of. Sure, we have. Exactly. I reckon Tingri's super sensitive animal mind means you can't tell what's going on with his soulmate over by there. What are you lot talking about? I don't understand the word you're saying. Sorry, I really can't be bothered to explain it to you now. I'll tell you afterwards, alright? Says Esther. Do us a favor. Tingri, the other you is sick in his heart. Do you understand? In his heart? Yes, but don't worry, we're gonna go make him better. Soon you'll be able to fly again soon. Really? Really, and when you fly again, do you think you might let us ride on your back? Yes, alright, I'll let you. Thank you so much, Tingri. We'll help you, I promise. Gee, Esther, that was amazing. It was, eh? I've got so used to the girl, I clean forgot she had such a way with animals. Suppose she is a familiar keeper after all. This is another great example of Oliver really just getting pushed to the background as this game focuses more and more on Esther being the main character. Which, I mean, they should have just had Esther be the main character from the beginning if that's what they wanted. This definitely feels like a game that was developed as they were making it. The story evolved and developed instead of having a kind of hardened story from the beginning as a concept. Tingri's not a familiar silly. No, and he's not much of a dragon either, the massive wimp. Now that's an interesting question. Why is he not a familiar? Like, are fairies familiars? Or are there just classes of familiars that are magical creatures roaming the land because of Shadar? And then there's a class of creatures that aren't familiars that existed before Shadar summoned them. I guess that has to be the case. Um, Pokemon certainly avoids that issue because there really is nothing but Pokemon in the Pokemon world. You'd be a wimp too if your soulmate was sick, or have you forgotten what it's like to be attacked by Shadar? No, and I won't forget in a hurry either. Hang about. How come she stepped in like that when we had to fight that flipping red? She never stepped in like that when we had to fight the flipping red dragon. I'm sure we can do something to help Tingri. Come on, let's go tell Captain Kublai. I'll leave it for now. Don't want to stir up trouble. Interesting that we're having inner dialogue in Drippy, because it does kind of, yeah, it definitely begs the question: is if Oliver could have cast Nature's Tongue and talked to the dragon, they wouldn't have had the fight to fight him. But then we wouldn't have had the fight, and the game wanted the fight certainly. So we'll go talk to Kublai. I question though if this guy isn't really working for the White Witch. Well, did you discover what has made a mouse of my once mighty dragon? Well, we've got an idea, yeah. Graha, then I suggest you find that cure fairy. I shall look forward to seeing it. Oh, and so you don't get yourself kills in the meantime, have this. A jumbo sun drop. Gee, is this one of those treats that makes familiars metamorpha change? Is this really the point where the game is supposed to have told us to metamorph our characters for the first time? That is scary. Really, really scary. Because that does imply that there might be a lot more game here. That's a boy. I couldn't help but notice you using familiars when you were fighting. And what a scurvy bunch of scrags they were. This little old red almost cooked you. Now, but one of your familiars has eaten just a drop I gave you and reached the final stage of development, you'll have beaten her um, easily. Hang on, man. I thought we did beat her easily. I mean, I hardly broke it. Mr. Drip, thank you, Kabai. I haven't finished. Every creature turns into one of two different types at the final stage of development. It's up to you to choose which one you want. Got all that? Good. If you've any sense, you'll use as many of these drops as you can find, and if you can't find any, make your own. Gee, another formula, thanks. Right then, Ollie boy, drops and familiars are very interesting, but sorting out old Tingri is our top priority, ain't it? Yeah, you're right. We'll head over to Motorville and find Tingri's soulmate. So, we now have a formula to make a jumbo sun drop, but we need sun crystals to do that. And only a jumbo sun drop, which we already have 3 of those anyways. And this guy is already at a high level. Now probably wouldn't be a terrible time to evolve this, but it is probably somewhat of a bad time. I don't actually think we have the item needed to metamorph this guy though, unless we just got it, because hmm didn't we do this? I guess I did do this, and I then did not save after the fact. That must have been what happened, yeah. Alright, we need to cast Gateway and go back to Motorville. And It'll be interesting to see if Esther and Swain comes with me. I think they probably will. Just sitting here watching the cutscene. Yeah, I'm still not sure the political intrigue concept there. I kind of thought Shadar was going to be the sole mate of Oliver's father or Oliver's father to begin with, but I almost wonder if it is the duplicitous uh, guy in the armor. Righty ho, Ollie boy, we need to find Tingry's soulmate. Then ain't it? Can you think of anyone that reminds you of a massive flying dragon? You mean, somebody dragon like? Come on, Mon. You know everyone in this town, don't you? If you can't think of who it would be, just ask around, ain't it? Yeah. Honestly, I cannot think on who it would be. Like, it does hmm, seem kind of odd. Of course, you don't really need to think about who it would be. You just go back to the store, which is seemingly our default look. Here, here's Esther's soulmate, and they are there. Interesting. And so I guess the question is, does Esther's soulmate see the fairy Drippy? Does she see Esther? Does she see Swain? Oh, hi, Oliver. Hi, Myrtle. Long time no see. How's it been working for Miss Layla? I love it. I'm getting better all the time. I know the names and prices of everything in the store now. Very impressive, young lady. Oh, I'm Swain, by the way. I, I don't really like to talk about it, but I've made it my business to protect these poor kids here. I'm what you might call their guardian. Myrtle goes dot dot dot. Or, you know she can't hear you, don't you? You what? People from this world can't see or hear us, silly. This girl's my soulmate, can't you tell? Yeah, I suppose I can, now that you mention it. Which I guess it would be an interesting twist if Swain all of a sudden fell in love with Myrtle instead of Esther. He's still too old for either one of them. Um, because there is, I think, about a 10-year difference in their age. Of course, that really wouldn't go anywhere if he can't be seen or heard. Yeah, man, they look just like each other, ain't it? They don't act the same, mind. Thank goodness for that. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Oliver, can you hear voices? Nope. No, I can't hear them. Weird. Hey, wanna know what they call me around these town these days? People have started calling me the Dairy Fairy. It's a little embarrassing, but I kinda like it. Nido, that's so great, Myrtle. I can't believe how much things have changed for you. You mean now that they don't call me Starry Mary anymore? Which is funny, her name is Myrtle, so they didn't even get the Mary part right. Yes, I guess things have changed. Ha ha. Wolf girl. So it's either gonna be this dog that just came out of nowhere, or it would be your friend. Would might would be the only other thought of people we've already met that might be soulmates with the dragon. Um, take note that the friend that really led to the death of your mother, accidental death of your mother because you crashed that car, has totally disappeared from the story. He was totally kind of a jerk, anyways, but boy, did they just waste a character there. There just didn't need to be a reason for him to exist at all. You could have had almost the exact same narrative where Oliver just was secretly building his own race car and he crashed in the ocean or in the river, and then the mother saved him and then got pneumonia and died. And then Oliver could completely blame himself, which he still probably does, instead of potentially putting half the blame on his friend. And it would kind of make more sense if you're going down the route of assuming that everything that's happening is just in the imagination of Oliver. It would make more sense if he didn't really have friends. Uh, Wolf Grr. Uh-oh, there's a mad dog on the loose. Strange. I feel like I know him from somewhere. Isn't he sweet, though? No. Hey there, Genghis. Are you out on your own again, sweetie? Hey, this dog, it's... That's right, it's Denny's dog. You know Denny, who lives next door to me? They're always out walking together. I guess you really couldn't call it walking. As soon as school's out, the two of them go running off together all over town. But I haven't seen Denny lately. Even though you live next door, that's weird. It is, huh? I always know when he leaves the house. I hear him laughing and howling. At least I did until recently. So, this is the dog that we saw as we were walking to Myrtle's house probably 20 hours ago. And I don't think we ever saw Denny as a character. You mean he hasn't been going outside? Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's like I was. Crikey, you mean we've cured Starry Mary? We've got Glary Carey to deal with instead. Typical Glary Carey. Mr. Drippy. What, man? I thought she couldn't flipping hear me. Grr. Ooh. What are you getting so worked up about? I think he wants to tell us something. Genghis. What could he want? Looks like another case for the heroic wizard who can talk to animals. Don't make fun of him, Oliver. I know we're supposed to be looking for Tingry's soulmate, but please can we speak to Genghis? Sure, let's hear what he has to say. Just a second, Myrtle. I need to ask Genghis what's wrong. Sure, how exactly? I mean, I need to see if there are any clues. You know, being Denny's pet and all. Shut up, man, you're making it worse. You can be awfully strange sometimes, Oliver. Anyway, I have to open the store. I'll see you around, okay? So I assume we can just cast a spell. And they're really bending over backwards to make this uh, spell useful, but unfortunately, most of these spells are pretty useless in the day-to-day gameplay mechanics. Grower won't listen to you. How many times do I have to tell you, my master? He's in trouble. Blimey, sounds serious. Grr. Oh, you're listening now, are you? And you can see us? Sure, I can. You're not exactly easy to miss. How come you suddenly started listening? Of course, he can see us because animals are all sensitive in that, ain't it? Oh, and we're listening, Dogface. We couldn't understand till Ollie cast the spell, ain't it? Guru? Well, you seem so upset we had to find a way of speaking to you. There's something you want to tell us, isn't there, Genghis, sweetie? Grr, sweetie? Sorry, Mr. Genghis, sir. Grr, stupid humans. Anyways, I'll tell you again. My master Denny is the greatest athlete in the town has ever seen. I'm his best friend, the king of the dogs. You can call me Genghis. I could swear I know somebody who talks just like you. I was just thinking the same thing, in fact. Doesn't Genghis kind of look like somebody we know, too? Who is Genghis supposed to be? Swain? Or Swain's brother? Oh, yeah, I've forgotten so many characters. And clearly you're supposed to get the implication, and I just don't know who they're even talking about. It's Mr. Genghis, Oliver. But yes, I had the same feeling. Who the flip could it be now? Yeah, Kublai. Oh, well, I didn't really. I don't really see the the similarities. How could we have not spotted? Just look at his expression. How could old pirate face head on? Could be old pirate face's head on another body. Now did I look at it properly? There's sharp-eyed of you, Ollie boy. Come on, just go through this dialogue faster. It's too much. He talks just like him too, kind of rough. It's funny, huh? Over in our world, Kublai keeps dragging, but here he's somebody's pet. Hey, do you think? What, man? Spit it out. Tingly soulmate. Could it be Dinny? When you make say that, does he look like a dragon or something? Oh, I get you. Kublai and Tingri are proper close, ain't it? So it makes sense Genghis here would be close with Tingri's soulmate. Exactly. But that would mean Kublai's pet in our world is his master in this one. The old switcheroo, eh? Classic stuff. Grr, stop your yapping and listen to me, will you? Sorry, Mr. Genghis, sir. Are you listening now? Good. Until recently, my master and I spent all the time training. You did. I used to see you running around town all the time. Well, of course you did. We were working for our dream. For my master's dream of making state championships. And you're helping him train? Grr, I just said that, didn't I? Anyways, he didn't make the track team, and nobody ever said, well, life was easy after all. Tell me about it. But he didn't give up. Not my master. He just trained harder than ever. That's the spirit. That's just what I imagined someone with a friend like you would do. But then it happened, Gur. Maybe he trained too hard. Maybe I didn't look after him well enough. He went and got himself injured, didn't he? Is that why he's been out? He hasn't been out and about later. I don't think it was anything serious. I thought he would be fine. But by the time I noticed, it was too late. So that's what's behind it all, eh? Gur. He lost his confidence. He was so convinced he would make the team next time, and then suddenly he was different. Hey, I bet he's heartbroken. Come on, Ollie boy. Could we? Could well be. They're explaining why Tingri can't fly too, huh? Then we have to help him. Mr. Genghis, sir, can you take us to your master? Girl, you think you can fix him, fools? He's seen the best doctors and they couldn't help. What makes you so special? It's nothing a doctor can fix, man. It's his heart. See, it's broken. So we happen to specialize in mending broken hearts. Mr. Genghis, sir, you have to trust us. I think we can help Denny. Girl, fine, but if you hurt him, I'll bury your bones in our back garden. You know our house, don't you? I'll wait for you there. Same old story, eh? Well, I don't suppose there's any harm in Kublai owing us a one in this world as well. You still here, Oliver? Did Genghis give you any clues? You sure do. It's bad news. Myrtle, Denny's hurt. He is? Oh, that's terrible. I had no idea. Wait, did you really talk to Genghis? No, I just figured it out, and it's worse than that. I think his heart may be broken too. I have to help him. I have to mend him. Sorry, Myrtle, I have no idea what I'm talking. You have no idea what I'm talking about, huh? Maybe not, but I believe in you. You used magic to heal me, didn't you? Yes. Hey, Oliver, can I come with you? Denny and I were good friends once. And when I couldn't go outside, you helped me so much. Maybe I can help you this time. Gee, Myrtle, thank you. That's okay. Interesting that she would join the team. I just don't think she's going to have any skills. Swain, she's a nice girl, eh? Of course she is. She's my soulmate. Drippy, dot, dot, dot. So, one of the things to ask certainly here is, do we have that, what is needed? Like, we have courage, restraint, kindness, enthusiasm, belief. So it would make a lot of sense if we unlocked another ability that was confidence. Otherwise, it's just belief, which that would also make sense. And here you see an example of Esther following along as you walk. So they could have had people do that throughout the entire game. It's also very weird we have that ghost girl as a character, that where she has shown up and really just done nothing to really justify being in the story. I don't think there's really a lot of reason to wander around the city either. I don't think I'm gonna find anything. We should also double check to make sure my character is equipped with the right magic wand. He is not. So that was other things that we should be fairly careful about. Make sure we have the right equipment equipped. Like, ideally, Motorville should be a place where there's a bunch of glowing items, a bunch of pots where you could get guilders or and gold or items to refill your health. Like, all of that would kind of make a lot of sense. Interesting, you have a character walking there, but I don't think I can actually go that far. I think I'm going to hit the invisible wall. Um, but yeah, if if a player is potentially struggling coming back to this area to get phoenix feathers, potions, coffees, things like that, food, all of that would make a lot of sense as a safe haven. But it's not so much the case. This is your master's house, isn't Mr. Genghis, sir? Yes, but I can't take you any further than this. And you can't see us, ain't it? Looks like you're the man for the job, Ollie boy. Sure. Seems like that was unnecessary dialogue. Could have just had you walk up to the door and interact with that. Are you sure he's in there? Of course. Of course I'm sure. He's in there on his own. Can't you just use magic to unlock it, Mon? Let me call him for you. Is that the girl from next door? Denny, are you in there? Denny, it's me, Myrtle. Can you hear me? Here you can see darkness smoking out of the crack. Woof, 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 grr. Myrtle, get back. What is that? Not again. it's another flipping nightmare. Which, yeah, that's what I expected we're gonna see. Mm. So if she gets pulled into the nightmare, I just don't think void of confidence. Yeah. Like, hmm. So what am I supposed to be doing here? Like, there seems to be some bad, like, glowing clones floating around. Hmm. Let's see. Spells, healing touch will go ahead and heal this. And then spells, arrow of light. That seems like that probably is what we want to do. Hmm. Hmm. And I'm just asleep at this point, so I'm unable to act. Hmm. So all I can do is all out attack and all out defense until, or I can switch to another character. Yeah. Neither one of which is really the best move. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I assume light is probably a good move to use. Like if light is not the thing you're supposed to be using, um, then I kind of have no idea what it is. What would be the thing you're supposed to use? Hmm. We can do pulse here just once to see if that really does anything, and the answer to that was no. Hmm. Just refill everybody using a um, better item, but I'm asleep. So, like, if you're asleep, you can't really do anything. You just have to switch to the next person. Hmm. Yeah. So you've got like all these purple things flying around that I think it's supposed to be clones. If that's not what the purple floating dots are supposed to be, then that's probably just. Hmm. I guess getting hit resets you. Hmm. Hmm. I think we can just win here. We don't have to drink a coffee. Hmm. Oddly, that was easier than the dragon fight. And that leveled up a lot of people and got me a lot of gold. Like every single character leveled up. So it does kind of feel like I was hampering myself just because I've been playing for a couple hours now just with the wrong wand equipped. Hmm. Yeah, we have not seen this character, Denny. Ing, Wolf, Arf, Denny. Oh, Oliver, everything went dark, so dark. It was Denny Hart, I felt it. It was crying out. He was in so much pain. That is weird. Must be the nightmare, ain't it? You mean Myrtle could see it too? I don't know, do I? But it seemed like she could hear me a bit, didn't it? Maybe she's more sensitive to these things than most. Damn it, it's hard to see her so upset and not be able to do anything about it. Yes. Hmm. Oh boy, it's not as simple as just beating up the nightmare, ain't it? Oh, it's like what happened to me, is it? So what piece of his of heart is he missing? I just can't keep up. I'll never catch them. He's lacking confidence, isn't he? Oliver, we need to get some from somewhere. Sure, Deanie Myrtle. Hmm. Oliver, I think I understand what Denny was feeling. It was just like what happened to me. Oh my, what can I do to help him? It's all right, Myrtle. I'll help him, I promise. Oliver, Denny, wait. I need to mend your heart. What do you know about my heart? It doesn't make the cut. I didn't make the cut. It's that simple. And now, with my injury, I don't deserve to run. It feels like they should probably have put like a cast around his foot or something. Um, they'll all overtake me. They'll all leave me behind. There's nothing you or I can do about it. Oh, Denny. But see, yeah, there's no cast on his foot. Uh, Myrtle, I need you to do something for me. I can help Denny, but I can't do it right away. So I need to look out for him for a little while. Can you do that for me? Can you stay with him? Sure, Oliver. Anything I can do to help. Thanks, Myrtle. I'll be back real soon. This is all very heroic of you, Oliver boy, but have you got any idea where you can find some confidence in a hurry? Ain't like it grows on trees, is it? Well, it doesn't matter. Let's just go back and visit the places we've been to so far. Back in our world, you mean? Yeah, why not? There's got to be someone here with more confidence than's good for them. Thanks. Let's go find some confidence. So we parted company with Myrtle. Kind of pointless. Alright. So, am I supposed to be wandering around here, or am I supposed to use Gateway? I think I'm supposed to use Gateway. Like, if there was somebody with extra heart, they would be in. Hmm, they would be in the map, I would think. Glowing green. So it feels like the game is just intentionally going to force us to revisit our steps. Hmm. Yeah. I thought the game might just have us collect confidence from Myrtle and just say, oh, she's built confidence because of this or that. Yeah, I just don't think any of these characters would give you anything as I'm pretending to read all of this. Yeah. Who's this little girl? Hmm. Hmm. So it probably doesn't make sense trying to talk to everybody here as much as if I went back to previous areas in the main game. Probably would make some sense to talk to characters. Hmm. Let's see if we run this way. She's not close enough that you could actually talk to her. See, at the very least, it would make some sense that you could go in here and like talk to this character and like see if we can do nature's tongue and talk to the cat. Hmm. 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 Yep. Just kind of nothing there either. You almost think that there might have been some kind of achievement or something talking to the cat. Hmm. I'm not really reading what any of this says. It's a cozy little town that basically has nothing happening in it. Hmm. This is funny because you have traffic signs here, now that I see them and think about it, that are definitely United States traffic signs. Like, these would not be what you would have in Europe or in the UK. Whereas the voice actors and the coziness of the town was leading me to think that this was more some cozy 1950s UK town. I guess I just was off on that. Hmm. Does that really change much? Not really, since Motorville doesn't really play a part. Where am I? It didn't gateway me somewhere different. We might as well save. Hmm. And let's just look at the map, and wants me to talk to this guy, which I wouldn't be surprised if this guy, Kublai, has just boundless confidence. Yep. Olimon, Ollie boy, look at your locket, will you? It's glowing like nobody's business. I'm sure it wasn't doing that before. So it's Kublai. Well, I guess he does have a lot of confidence. Did you speak my name, boy? Why then? I take it you've got a cure for my dragon. Not just yet. Sorry. Gaha, sorry, are you? Well, don't be. At least you're trying. Which is more I can say for the rest of my Scurvy crew. Actually, Captain Kublai, sir, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Out with it then, boy. I don't have much care for meekness. It's been about 15 minutes, and it's been, so far in this episode, it's been close to 45 of those minutes have been game, uh, just reading visual novel dialogue. It's too much in one go. Well, there's somebody who has a piece of their heart stolen. And I was wondering if we could use a piece of your heart to help them. That's right. After all, not many people have got as much confidence as you, man. I don't care much for flattery either, Fairy. What would you have me do? You don't need to do anything. Just stand there while Ollie Boy waves his wand, and it'll be over before you know it. Very well. Do your worst. So take heart. Then cast Gateway. Hmm. You've obtained some confidence. Grah, what have you done to me, boy? What is this feeling? It is not bad, Jeepers. I'm sure that sure is a big hunk of confidence. You're not wrong, Ollie boy. That locket of yours fit to burst. Let's head over to Motorville and mend Danny Lad's broken heart. Sure thing, Mr. Trippy. Thanks a lot, Captain Kublai. It was nothing, boy. You could have taken more for all I cared. Oh, before you part, take these. I found them in a pile of plunder. They mean nothing to me, but I dare say they might sit well in that magic book of yours. So we now have a Quake spell, which maybe is an attack spell, and a Seek Fortune spell, which might mean something too. Like, I really have not been paying attention to the book, which that too really feels like it's more of a bait and switch, unnecessary element. Yeah. So I would have to basically zoom in or page through all of these. And the brown ones, I think, are spells that we cannot cast until we've unlocked the full power of the wand. So half of these spells are kind of pointless. They're just going to be very late game things. This is a great example of having unnecessary um, loading, and even in its kind of diminished state right now, my computer is so fast and my SSD is so fast that we're not really seeing any loading here. But I would heavily suspect that if you were playing the Nintendo Switch version of this game, there would be a few seconds of loading as you cast gateway and load in Motorville and load out the other dungeons. Um, and it's just unnecessary because you could have certainly twisted the story around where you defeated the dragon, then you collected confidence not knowing you were going to use it, and then you would just say, "Oh, I've already collected what he needs," which is, and do it in one trip. But clearly, they want to waste your time and make you wander around and instill the attitude that you should just wander back and forth between areas. Um, Even though, particularly going to Motorville is something you never need to do extra or at different times. Rydo, Ollie boy, time to hand over that confidence. The only thing I could think is maybe there would be a secondary fight here that was just a bit of a surprise. But even that would be kind of problematic because we've already had a dragon fight followed by a nightmare fight, and like, do we really need yet another Shadar fight or something? Time to hand over that confidence. It is interesting too that I guess we are now down to 2 pieces of heart that we haven't collected, or 3 pieces of heart. No, it's just 2. This one and this one. Which I imagine that will unlock more errands we could run around and do. And maybe that would create a scenario where um we could get a improvement reward. But yeah, even the number of errands that seem like you would have to do to get all the rewards seems oddly high. Everything just seems really, really high. Like there's another whole half of a game that we haven't even touched upon yet. And narrative wise, I guess that would make sense if the White Witch gets betrayed halfway through it, and then we have an even bigger boss that we have to defeat. What are you doing? Myrtle? Denny gasped. I can feel it, the pain in his heart. It's disappearing. Woof. It's funny, they changed the title of Genghis to Mr. Genghis, sir. Hey boy, you're here too? I'm so sorry I've caused everyone so much trouble. It's not your fault you were, my heart, it feels so light. Like a weight has been lifted. You did this, didn't you? He did, and he did the same for me, didn't he? Oliver knows how to use magic spells. Suppose we should talk about the elephant in the room, or in this case, I guess the one that isn't the white elephant in the room. Like, we have not really seen great adherence to what would make sense, particularly in Alma Moon, with Esther being a white blonde haired character in what would be a Middle Eastern, uh, like Persian type environment. Overall, the game has been particularly light skinned. Now, arguably, the Japanese would see all these light skinned people and think of them as being Japanese, but then you've also set it in America, so that they have to be kind of white Americans, um, which probably better though, because the Japanese are not particularly great at depicting cultures they don't really have a lot of interaction or familiarity with. Even Denny here, you can see they have gone with him having big, fluffy, afro style curly hair, which is accurate, but it certainly could lead to stereotypical, insulting stereotype depictions. Um, that being said, it probably would have been better if Denny did join the team, or a character like Denny joined the team. And he'll join the friends group, I'm sure, but I seriously doubt we'll see Swain or Esther get replaced, or that we'll collect more characters. Maybe at the very final battle, we'll see Denny and Swain, Denny and Myrtle show up and help fight Shadar, and there'll be 6 of them together. He did, and he did the same for me. Oliver knows how to use magic spells. I'd be surprised hearing that from anyone but you, Myrtle. Wait, no, don't worry, Oliver. He doesn't actually believe her. Oh, Wolf. You're right, Genghis, we need to get back to training. But Denny, your leg, are you sure you should? That, it was just a scratch. I can't sit around feeling sorry for myself because of that. The longer I sit, the faster the others get, and I can't let them beat me. I have to make the cut next time. So, was it really a scratch? I guess maybe it was. Well, just a little scratch breaking your confidence. Yeah, it can happen, certainly. Denny, that's the Denny I know. Good luck. Thanks, but I won't need it. Come on, boy, it's training time. I can feel myself getting slower by the second. Wolf. What would be nice if he's all about speed and training, if he gave some kind of major speed bonus to all of my familiars so that they could move around faster or attack faster. They had less cooldown in between each attack. Or if he just gave a speed bonus, um, to Oliver running around the map, that would be nice too. Crikey, he doesn't look too slow to me. He looks like he's forgotten all about his injury. That's the power of the heart. You did it again, Oliver. Thank you so much. It wasn't me, Myrtle. It was Denny. His heart was strong enough to make it. I just gave him a helping hand. You really are a hero, aren't you? Maybe even a handsome prince. What? Cut it out, Myrtle. Hey, I sure hope Denny makes the state championships. Don't you? Hee, of course I do. Hey, it won't be easy, but something tells me he'll make it. Of course he will, especially now that we've helped him on the way. Oh no, I have to get back to the store. Huh? What's wrong, Myrtle? I was in the middle of opening up. Miss Lily will be so mad. What? You were working? Jeepers. You need to get back then. Still kind of weird that she's working. She's far too young to really be working, but whatever. Meh. Maybe it's just like an hour a day type thought. Hmm. She's just as easily distracted as someone else I could mention. Oh yes, and who might that be? Drippy dot dot dot. Okay. And they're not gonna really hold your hands this time. Hmm. Uh, so apparently we don't just Gateway. Myrtle looked like she was in the right old patch. We better go and make sure she's alright, ain't it? So we're supposed to chase after her. Wow. It really is just another example of the game wasting your time. Like if you wanted to show another cutscene, why not just um fade in and fade out? Almost wonder, and I doubt there really is many requirements like this, but I kind of wonder if there might be a requirement that you make the player press a button or a thing on the controller or do something slightly different every 10 minutes. Probably not the case, because almost certainly, like, if anybody really cared about that, you would kind of think it would be Nintendo that would care about that. And then they let straight up visual novels be sold on their eShop, where you would very possibly just hit A button throughout the entirety of the game. Hit the A button to move the dialogue forward. A kinetic visual novel may almost certainly exist on the Nintendo eShop, where you don't even make dialogue choices. Uh, so it's probably more of a idea that they are just trying to um, they are trying to not have you realize how much over necessary or un- unnecessary dialogue is in this game. And sure, if it just moved forward and if it was just voice acted and the subtitles were just kind of like closed captions that moves forward, then it would feel a lot different. But having to have that opportunity to take a break in between each sentence and press a button really makes it very long. Particularly as a video game critic, it makes it long because I'm then given an opportunity to think and criticize about every sentence. So we're back with the green-haired little girl, um, who I assume she must be really, really young. She has to be. She looks like a good foot shorter than Oliver. And if Oliver's about 10, that probably puts her around 7. Um, I'm so sorry, Miss Lisa. I didn't mean to leave the store like that. The green-haired girl very possibly is the soulmate of the White Witch. That would make a lot of sense. Um, that the White Witch potentially severed her soul off and severed her soulmate in that process. Hmm. Let's see. Myrtle Deal, where have you been? I was worried about you. Look, P is the name of the character. It's Esther in the other one. He. And who might you be, sweetie? This little lady's been around an awful lot lately. So they're starting to see P too. So apparently P is becoming more and more visible to people in Motorville. Uh, what little lady? There you are. Hello, Oliver. I've been looking for you. Well, if people in Motorville can't see people from the other world, I don't even know what the other world is called. I don't think they ever gave it a name. Um, but people from the other world can see and hear people in Motorville. Then P very potentially is from a third world, which maybe that's what happens in all the other future Ni no Kunis, is that it takes place in a slightly different variant of the other world. There you are. Hello, Oliver. I've been looking for you. P? P, she's here somewhere, says Esther. Is she a friend of yours, Oliver? Then I'll leave you two and get back to work. See you soon. Well, looks like you found who you're looking for, dearie. I'll leave you with Oliver, shall I? Thanks, Miss Layla. Have a nice day. Oliver, I have something to tell you. I'm sorry, P. What is it? Hey, who's he saying sorry to? Says Swain. Oliver, the slithery one, and the dodgy one, and the bony one, they're coming. Hmm. There's a lot of weird background noise in the music and in just the background sound effects. So, a slithery one, a doggy one, and a bony one. Hmm. Which sounds like those are probably the stone guardians. The keepers. You have to be careful. I don't understand, P. Yes, you do. Just be careful. Okay, P. I'll try. Or what? Who were you talking to? Oh gee, I'm sorry. You don't know about P yet, do you, Swain? She's a funny little girl, I know. I see her in Motorville sometimes. I've seen her in my dreams, too. But we can't see her. No, I still can't figure out. Huh? I don't feel like I hit the button there. She's gone. She always does that. What's wrong? Did she disappear again? Uh-huh. I don't understand what she's trying to tell me. Uh, I think I get it. Get what, Drippy? Well, Myrtle and that lot can see us lot can't see us lot from our world, right? So P probably comes can't see us lot either, ain't it? It's the same, but the other way around, you mean? That's right. It's not so weird when you think about it, eh? Us not being able to see someone from another world. It's not? Oh, who cares as long as you can see her, eh, Oliver? Yeah, I'm more worried about going and seeing how Tingry's doing. If your guess was right, Oliver. Ain't it though? We've sorted Dinny out, so Tingry should be able to fly again tidy. Right, let's go check on Tingry. So can we now, Cascade Way? Yes, we can. Now we're in 7 minutes into it to just accomplish a what should have been a relatively simple goal. And this time, I don't think there's really a need to even go to the stone because I think my health and everything is like at the maximum. We didn't even fight. It'll just be more dialogue. Hmm. Yeah, we've got at least 5 more sentences, I would say, before we can actually ride the dragon and start using that ability. Hi there, Captain. Do you know where Tingri is? Roar, you've come at a good time, boys, you see? Hmm, hmm, hmm. It's kind of funny the dragon has a dog collar on. Behold, he's a sight for sore eyes, and no mistake, he stopped sniveling and took to the skies again not long after you left. Like magic it was. Wait, you meddling dogs did something while my back was turned, didn't you? Well, it's a little hard to explain, but we went to another world and Oliver helped Tingry get better. All you need to know is that Oliver's magic is the reason Tingry is flying again. Gra ha ha ha. Still spouting nonsense, I see, but no matter. You did as you said you would. I'll not question your methods. I had no idea the real Tingry was so lively. This is how the dragon should be. Seems like he's taken a liking to you, and after all my hard work. God, so be it. I know when I'm beaten. He's yours. Yours, Master Now. Lad, you and he both know it already. What? Really? But what's the matter, Warren? Not good enough for you? No, no, sir. Thank you very much. What's funny is he's giving Tingry to Oliver when really it seems like Tingry probably would like Esther more. Um, thank you very much, Captain Kublai, sir. Gra, it's settled then. Tingry lad, say hello to your new master. Yeah, it would make a lot more sense to just give Esther the dragon. It would make her more powerful because she's kind of weak as a character, anyways. Um, Certainly, it would give her a little bit more of a gimmick. Um, Oliver got the upgraded magic wand, and is going to get an upgraded magic wand, and has been getting upgraded spells throughout the entire game. Swain could certainly get upgraded guns and upgraded thieving skills. Kya, kya. Nice to meet you, Tingri. Likewise, I'm sure. Alright, let's go find the magic stones. Set a southward course, lad. You'll happen upon Solitary Isle soon enough. Yeah. Hmm. 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 What I should do, and I'm not committing to actually doing this, is watch the Ni no Kuni Netflix, or at least fast forward through a few episodes. I just got an achievement. There are 17 achievements left now. Um, but yeah, I should, before finishing this game completely, I should see if some of the cutscenes in the Netflix series are directly taken from this game. Although I wouldn't be surprised if the Netflix animated series is based on Ni no Kuni 2, and there's just nothing from Ni no Kuni 1 in it. Flipping Nora, is that high enough for you, Ollie boy? Righto. Since the smallest mistake up here will result in certain death, I reckon now's a good time to give you Captain Drippy's Don't Crash course in dragon flying. Don't worry, man. If you survive the first 5 minutes, there's nothing to it. You can change directions with the left stick and the right stick to have a good look around. This really is just basic controls that I've been using this whole time, so that seems unnecessary. And when you want to plank your feet back on the ground, press A. You'll see a circle appear. Use the left stick to shift the circle while you want it, then press A to land on that spot. If you change your mind and want to carry on flying, press B. Just be sure to watch the color of the circle. If it's blue, you're all right to land. If it's red, you'll have to find somewhere else. Once you've had enough of being on back on pouring old ground, honk on the dragon horn Pirate Face gave you. They just skipped over that part, certainly. Tingling will come flapping. Press up and it will give you a good old parp up on the D-pad. But enough jabbing, let's enjoy the dragon's eye view of the world. Yeah, even the game itself knows that that was not worth. So, pretty much, I am of the opinion that we will not use the boat anymore, and this will be the de facto movement method. Right, so if I want to land, you can come down here and you can get this whetstone. And this has put me in an area in this upper section that I could not reach before. Does that really mean anything right now? I don't think so, but well, my only thought here is maybe, just maybe, this would come into a scenario um, where it is really hard to defeat these guys. Yeah, it does kind of feel like this might be what's going on here, is that if you fly into an area where you really couldn't have been before, you run into that risk of dying. Hmm. 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 So Swain can pretty much use his mugshot for one magic point every fight if you played as him specifically to get some kind of item. Hmm. I still have like no defense. Look how fast that guy moved. That was ridiculously fast. Hmm. Spells. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. My defense is still incredibly bad. Hmm. 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 This is not working at all well at all. So yeah, this might just be a case where the real move is to not take a come on, run. Hmm. So yeah, there's not probably going to be any landing spots, I would suspect, around these areas in the mountains. And it definitely feels like there's just going to be real danger and difficulty if you land somewhere that you couldn't reach before. It totally feels like there's all kinds of places that you might be able to reach as far as like caved areas, but maybe not. Maybe a lot of these caves are purely visual, and that certainly is a way you could expand the world a lot. You can't land on the cities. Yeah, you could certainly expand the world quite a bit by making caves all over the place that you just couldn't access. I'd assume this is a bird flying, but doesn't seem like it leads to a fight. Hmm, which is weird. So And I don't have a way of affecting my elevation, so wherever that bird was going, if it was going anywhere, I really can't follow along. We kind of knew that there was a certain level to this, though. We were seeing pickups and items. But that doesn't inherently mean that there's a place we need to investigate at this exact moment, and we may just find if we did try to investigate a place that it would turn out to be basically nothing. Like this is a cave, but that doesn't mean that there's something here that I'm have to actually face the thing to use spring lock. Metal fortitude. Let's see if we can use that. Him. Increase defense. Magic defense. Yeah, I think that probably is very good. Is there perhaps something here that would also increase my defense even more? We could do that. Magic defense. I don't know if magic defense is really what we need. I've got it equipped anyway, so I might as well increase some things. Let's see if we've got a new trick here. Hmm. This guy is metamorphosable too, so we should probably metamorphize him. It's possible one of these characters has learned a new ability also. I just don't recognize which one or wasn't paying attention. That is definitely a problem when you have a big fight and everybody levels up. He needs blue. And I guess the question is, do I want this guy to do wind attacks? We could go aye, sir. We could go aye, catcher. Now it changed the stats slightly. Let's just pick one. Interesting. That does kind of imply that if you went one direction, you would make the monkey male, in one direction you'd turn the monkey female. I've forgotten what this guy likes, so invasion probably is what he likes. Yep. See, this is an ingredient, this is an ingredient. Everything's an ingredient to something else, which does probably imply that there probably is a way you could just craft up everything higher and higher, and then there's going to be something that just raises familiarity very quickly, has a heaviness of 10 and a attack increase of 10. Which again, that definitely does imply that there's a lot more game here. This is just a guy. We can't open this. We may need to talk to this guy way later. Visitor, yo. Yeah, ha ha. Don't get many visitors out here. No, 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 not many at all, if any. Oh, what's that I spy? A cauldron. Haha. The boy is a wizard, a visiting wizard's boy. You know about cauldrons? Yeah. There's nothing I don't know about cauldrons, young man. You're the only wizard. You're not the only wizard in this cave, you see. Though I must say, your alchemical skills looks like they need a bit of work. Come back here when you've learned a real way, your way around the cauldron. Then I'll teach you some real alchemy. Okay. So this guy will teach me probably some really high level alchemical spells much later. And see, if I was to just go for resources, I guess there's maybe an argument to like landing here. You could just run around the game, land next to these things, get the items, and then fly away and not even really have to fight anybody. Certainly, I guess I could take some side trips back to the areas on the left here. Probably are a few things that we could do. Let's see. We go to the fairy island. Over here we could investigate if there's anywhere you can actually land that you couldn't reach. I think the answer to that is probably no. You can just reach everywhere on this fairy island. Just put me down there. There really isn't a ton of stuff to do, I think, on this island. Oh, I may not actually be able to get off this area. Okay. So I did have to land there. It doesn't feel like there's any familiars until you land either. So I'll just grab a bunch of those and go to the fairy ground, which I guess I didn't realize the pun that existed until that point. That it's a fairground called the fairy ground. I feel like we've probably slept here already, but let's stay anyways. It's only 90 and that'll just satisfy any curiosity in case there was any stories that would be added to your spell book. Nope, we had already stayed there. Okay. We should probably spend our money too. Give heart kindness. I hope I have kindness on me. We're really not running into a lot of extra heart pieces. So we probably couldn't really do too much. Hmm. Hmm. Do we have some courage? Apparently not. Nope, we're out of courage. Alright. Let's see. If I was to buy this, wouldn't change anything. If I was to buy anything else, this would be an ingredient. We already have that. If I was to buy this, it doesn't work on anybody, but we don't have any in the bag. This looks like this can be bought. Go ahead and equip that. This doesn't really feel like a great place to buy stuff if that's going to be the case. Yeah, I was hoping that that would have worked out better. Could buy certainly a bunch of these because it doesn't seem like there's going to be an improvement there. Arguably, it may not be worth it to buy a bunch of these. If the alchemy just let us build a improved version of chocolate by adding a bunch of chocolates together, that would be fine, but it doesn't quite work that way. I don't think there's a real reason to talk to the mother fairy. So we'll just fly over here and see if there's something to look at or consider. It does kind of feel like there might be something to this. 555 guilders. Nope, nothing there. You are going to obviously have to learn that you need to be kind of in a somewhat open area to call Tingri. But that is going to cause me to several times fail. I don't think that there's any secret you can fly to this spot. Down in the pits, for instance. So I can't go in there. Definitely feels like there's kind of an inconsistent depiction here, where sometimes it does seem like you can go in places and sometimes you can't. This will maybe be yet another area where you find a treasure chest and a wizard. Toadstool Sunday. Still have that annoying squishy sound effect. Yep. Why the wide-eyed young man not scared of skeletons, are you? Well, there's really no need to be. I mean you no harm. I'm just a humble hermit, happy to spend my death alone here in this cave. It's dark and it's cramped and it's full of grog. Why would I ever want to leave? Mahaha. So, yeah, it doesn't seem like there's... Come on. Like, definitely just kind of feels like these are offshoot dungeons that were either content that would have been left on the cutting room floor or content that they are using to claim that there's more dungeons in this game than what most people would probably would say is accurate. Like if each one of those caves is counted as a dungeon, and this game said it had 60 dungeons and 45 of them are all like that, then that'd be fairly dishonest. But how many times have I had to say this game already feels very bait and switchy? So I wouldn't be surprised if there is something to that. Jade marble is a new ingredient item. That may be the only place where you get it. And I really haven't been to this island. We may find that there are things in these areas that are dangerous. That's another stone. Let's go ahead and land here. That's a new item. So I suspect the game is going to have us fly around collecting more stones, or finding all the stones and reading all the stones later. And I assume if we went too far to like the north, the game would probably just hit an invisible wall. Yep. Yeah. I'm just off the map at that point. I don't know what this is. Is this the casino? Or is that just an area we have not visited? I think that's just an area we have not visited. Because, well, you go through this cave with a creepy face on it. And this may just be the casino. Should see if we can land on it. Seems like this area is just a no-go zone. Anyways. Then there's a whole area over here. It's just like a constructed wall. Perdida. Why did you come to this sacred place? Be gone from here at once. So there's a whole area there that's probably one of the snake stone guardians. Power stone. Let's just avoid fighting anybody at the moment. Yeah, at a certain level, this definitely opens up the world more, and I guess maybe we would have to land here if we couldn't fly here, and then go through that long trail. But there's definitely a lot of area here too that is not really areas that you're going to interact with. It would a lot of mountains you're not going to be able to land on, a lot of other stuff that is just going to be a convenient area to make it impossible to reach things. Let's go ahead and check this island up here in the top, and then I think we'll call that fair enough. If there's going to be an actual city for every one of these three bosses that we have to defeat, then we know there's going to be 3 more cities at minimum. That's another stone. 3 more cities would be 3 more chances to find 3 more shops and 3 more people, collections of people with pieces of heart to collect. But yeah, we mostly have looked at 2/3 of the map on the right side, and clearly there can't be that much more gameplay as far as physical land mass, so they're going to have to do something, unless the map just really opens up and zooms out, and then all of a sudden we find out that the areas we've been looking at are only half of the world. Like, I do expect Shadar to make the monsters stronger at some point, but that's kind of all I expect. Now, ironically here, when we look at this map, this clearly can't be what the world is like in Ni no Kuni 2 and the rest of the world, the other Ni no Kunis. The map almost certainly has to be a lot bigger, um, or just a different part of the world, because this really is just too small for that to make sense. We've also kind of forgotten about the ghost wizard kid. Yeah, I think I have to move a little bit further back. There's only barely enough room. We have about 15 minutes, so we'll see what this says. Crikey, look at this monument by here. Well, this didn't make it here by accident. It must have something to do with the stones. Hey, look, there's something written on it. So, press Y to see the Nazcanian chart. Last time I tried to translate something from this Nazcanian code, I translated the wrong thing and wasted a bunch of time. I guess in this case that won't be the case. T is the first letter. A. This is going to take forever. TH. Tath. T. E. This is too much. Just find a different way to waste your time, won't you? This is not a kid's game. A kid's game would not force you to have to translate something just to read it. Like, it would be so easy to at least give a spell to translate things instead of forcing the player to do it. It kind of looks like K, but I don't think that's what it is. R. Tether. P. No, that's not P. C. E. Tether. C. E. S. E. TH. Tether says. I think when it's two letters, you're supposed to pick one or the other. Also, which is just making this even more. So I'm thinking tether chest might be what it's trying to say. And then the second line is S, and then T. I imagine other people would have already translated all of this as I'm struggling with this. And it's just really difficult to have to go through each one multiple times and looking at all these pictures at once. Let's see, SER, I think. M, not M. Some of these symbols are intentionally similar to other symbols to confuse us. I imagine somebody with dyslexia would really struggle with this even more. SCRA P and I kind of know already what this is gonna say. It's APM. It's gonna tell us to go find all those other stones that we've already seen, almost certainly. I or J. And then let's see, what's this next letter? Should be fairly easy. It looks like a 0 and a 6. Map. Yeah, the next letter was P. And then what's the next letter? A. M. Now, honestly, you should just look at the answer. E. TH. Okay, that doesn't mean anything to me. No. I give up. I give up. I'm not gonna try and translate 4 sentences there when I can't even translate the first 2 sentences into something that makes sense. Esther, what's this funny writing? Nazcan, ain't it? It's probably tell us where the stones are hidden and all. Shall I decode it for you, Oliball? Yes, please, Mr. Drippy. So the game is just screwing with you, basically, making it seem like you were going to have to translate it yourself, but anybody who was impatient would have just immediately found out that Drippy is going to translate it. So it says, Rydo, gives a second to him. It says, the secret that the map imparts, I did not get that, lies not within, but in its heart. And that means what exactly? Means, if I'm not very much mistaken, that the stones ain't on this island. What? You heard me. The secret of where they're hidden lies not without. It said, meaning not on the surface of the map for all to see. I reckon that a bit of it is being about it being in its hearts means the real location of the stones is lurking somewhere inside the flipping thing. So, how do we get them out? Well, I don't flipping know, do I? Calm down, Drippy. It's not as if we even have to have the map at the moment. Looks like we better go and talk to old Kublai. Again, get up, Tingry. Seriously? So, fly here, then fly back. Then fly here, then fly back. It's ridiculous. I'm trying to see if that quake spell that we got is something we can use, and apparently it's not. Because that would be my guess, is that we would have to use a quake spell. So the other problem certainly here is it definitely does give you the impression that you might need to you might end up in a fight here, and then the fight might turn kind of bad. Yeah, it's not worth it going to this city. I would have to think about which was the most recent city with the most upgraded items to buy and sell. And I kind of feel like that's The city with the people in the pig armor. That's just a waterfall. Yeah, it would both have been annoying if in flying back I ended up fighting somebody and doing yet another big boss fight. But it's also annoying that nothing happened. My only thought is that maybe we come in here and we see the White Witch or Shadar or somebody, and that there is some real idea here as far as there's some real reason why you needed to actually come back here. This is kind of a great example where cell phones would solve a lot of problems, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense for them to have cell phones. Magical communication abilities certainly would be better. Gur, tell me, boy, did you find those magic stones? Well, not exactly. We did find a big old monument, though it was. The point is, Mr. King of the Pies, is that there are no stones there, not a single one. I reckon you better give us another look at that map of yours. Curious. And you searched thoroughly? Thoroughly. We're trying to save the world. Man, of course we searched flipping thoroughly. It was definitely the right island. Here, Ollie boy. Give the Nazcan from the monument another read. That'll tell you the secret, I bet. The secret that the map imparts lies not within, but in its heart. Which probably means you have to hold a candle in front of it or cast a spell on it. What could that mean? Well, the heart stuff always has something to do with your magic, right? So we could cast Take Heart on it or something. And cast it on the map. What would we do with what we got from it? If we got anything, that is. But it could be something to do with magic, right? Yeah, that tends to be the case when you're involved. You put a good deal of faith in the boy's wizarding. Does he know many spells? Oh, lots and lots. People keep giving them to him. You're not wrong, Esther. We've got a tidy pile of spells, ain't it? I reckon we must have something that'll work. The secret that the map imparts lies not within, but in its heart. Do any of these spells spring to mind, Oliver? Gee, one or two, maybe. Well, there's only one way to find out. So it's just a spell here, a mini game um, of finding the right spell, and then if you do the wrong one, it doesn't seem like it's really going to matter. And I really don't have a clue, so I kind of think Take Heart might work. Hmm. Hmm. Secret ingredient. Should probably do that one more often. So insight, was it tidy? We hit the flipping jackpot. So they're hitting separately. I had my suspicions. There are 3 stones after all. To hide them in one place seems foolhardy. Hang on, I'm not sure I understand. What made all the marks appear on the map? It was the spell I used, Insight. It shows you the memories of people who once owned an object. I get it. So it showed you the places the persons who made the map wanted to keep secret. Yes, the memories just came rushing into my mind all at once. And there was a message, too. Well, what was it? Spit it out, man. Let me see. The wand is a weapon of the heart. The stones merely reflect its surface. True power lies in the depths. That's all it said. What the heck's that supposed to mean when it's at home? I'm sure we will find out eventually. Let's think about it while we look for the stones, shall we? Fair enough. Here, Pirate Face, will will give us. Will you give us a land of the map? It'll be right off coming back here all the time. It'll be a right path coming back here. I can't even read this half the time. The stones are your concern. I have no need of the map. Take it. It will free up more space for good, honest plunder. So now we get the map, which why didn't they just give us the map in the first place so we didn't have to fly back here? Thank you very much, Captain. We'll go and see what we can find at the 3 places marked on the map. They just wanted to reuse this scene because they animated already. Then it looks like we'll be spending plenty of time up in the clouds with Tingri. I can't wait. Yeah, you will be keeping them busy, all right. Tidy, it's time to begin the next chapter of the adventures of the intrepid wizard Ollie Boy, the search for the magic stones. So even the game is kind of implying that that is the beginning of a new um, a new act. Travel. So I don't feel like they are particularly in the exact order that you would think they would be in. Particularly this Perdita just being added. Yeah, I think Hamlin probably is the place to go as far as a storefront. Have we been anywhere else that would have had stores? Hmm. Hmm. And I think this guy is still. Hmm. Still looking for a large mechanical creature. Do we have a large mechanical creature? Hmm. So we could finish this quest. Hmm. I very possibly never caught one. Hmm. Well, let's try this. Drop off a familiar. And then retrieve a familiar. Let's see if that's what he needs. Hmm. Hmm. So that finishes one merit card and gets us actually very far. Hmm. At a certain point, that also allows me to drop off all these characters because I wasn't doing anything with them. Man, it is crazy that you can have like 400 of these creatures. I just don't see how you're going to really do anything with all of these. Just feels like you're going to end up potentially having 200 for really no reason, and that would be about as much as you really could do. Hmm. While we're here, we might as well take some heart and do some shopping. I really just want to. My main goal was to come here and collect spend the money. Not really collect heart pieces, but we should do both while we're here. Hmm. Hmm. So this guy has confidence, and I just don't think we could have taken confidence before, so arguably there is probably a lot of places that if I revisited I could do more quests. Yeah, there's all kinds of new quests here. And oddly, I don't think I can do all of those. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. We can claim a bounty. That can push us a little bit further. But it'll be a while before we have 3 here. Let's see, we've got new people that need new pieces of heart. This is gonna take a while. I also heavily suspect that we still don't really have the best of items. Like, or we probably don't have that much gold either. Hmm. Like it probably feels like I have a lot of gold, but probably don't actually have that much. Like most drastically here's this. +5 defense. Buy one of those and see if I can equip this guy. And then buy another one and see if I can equip this guy. Hmm. 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 I'm just hoping that these are smart moves. Yeah. Yeah. I guess this also tells us that our reserves at some point we may have different characters. Like different characters that you actually play as or play with. Go ahead and equip that. And yeah, that has spent all of our money. So that solves that problem. So now we have about 1,000 gold. If we were gonna run into uh, any other points where we start dying over and over again, we won't lose thousands and thousands of gold. This guy's got a new quest for us. He's lost it. Hmm. 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 Railway tracks near the mine's interest. entrance. That's a quest. Over here, we've got somebody who needs something. Hmm. Hmm. This guy needs confidence, which we have. So we'll get through this. We're going a little long today, but that should be fine. Hmm. We still have the audio messing up. Hmm. And this guy has something. Hmm. Which he has restraint, and we already have restraint. So it's nothing we can do with that. Hamlin is a very nice looking area in which you really don't do anything. It's a waste. And it's probably also very wasteful running around collecting things from pots. It definitely is an element in the game that could have just been removed. Hmm. Hmm. Like, if I didn't need to run around looking at the pots, or if they just didn't exist there, I don't think anybody would really miss them. See what this guy's missing. Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. Feel good fungus growing to the forest to the west of this city. Hmm. I guess I don't have any feel good fungus. Okay. 60 guilders is really not worth the time. There's something about the feel good fungus I vaguely recall that made it more difficult to collect than you would think. But suffice it to say, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get all of the things done I'd like to get done. Right, we're looking for railroad tracks to a mine. Which, I don't know why these guys want to attack me. I would assume I'm way, way further. Stone be gone. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. So there is something in each of these. If you walk up to them and just tap A, or at least a lot of them. Yeah, and I just have no desire to really fight these guys. Hmm. But this probably does give an indication of about how strong I am right now. That some people still want to attack me, whereas other people are running away in fear. Lump of raw steel. Hmm. He said it was on a railroad track to a mine. Honestly, it doesn't feel like there's many more of those. Hmm. And then they said the fungus begone was in the forest to the west of here. It was not fungus begone, it was called feel good fungus. And I'm trying to collect all of these items in the thought that they would potentially be like useful in doing alchemy. I just kind of question it. Carrot cake is what they wanted. Hmm. Yep. So yeah, I needed the carrot cake. Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. 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 Like we've got the treasure chest here. We just gotta figure out the spot you need to stand. And I guess maybe I'll just tap the A button like crazy while I try to focus in on things. Hmm. Like twice now, we've been in these little forested areas. If we tried to levitate, it says you can't use that here. And you can't call the dragon. Hmm. I suppose it is probably a good thing that they didn't make all these native characters incredibly dark skinned characters. Although that's pretty much what I assume the narrative is. If this is all happening in Oliver's mind at this time frame, he would probably be thinking of natives as being Africans with big rings in their noses, which is not too far off from what these characters are. Hmm. Yeah, again, this might be here to imply that there's more dungeons or more areas than there really are. This is awful, though, that you can see the treasure and yet you can't do anything with it. Hmm. Hmm. And that's probably not enough quests. If we look at the map, doesn't particularly strike me like there's a whole person or something down there. Um, but yeah, it's probably if I can give the feel good fungus and I can give the diary to the guy, I'm still probably not gonna be at the third card. And I'm just hoping that I've bought enough items now that this I've increased my defenses and my attacks and such. Hmm. 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 So the next one needs to be 4. Hmm. 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 So find 4 ships in the Castaway Cove and take them out is now the new part of this quest, which I wasn't really expecting it to become a long running collection or series of quests. I don't hate the idea of quest givers giving you a series of quests. Um, Honestly, if there was about 20 long running strings of quests throughout the game, and that was all the quests, I would be okay with that instead of just having random NPCs giving you random quests all over the place. Uh, Very often in RPG games, you end up just becoming the gopher for characters. Gopher in the sense of somebody who just goes for items when needed. You just become this assistant, whereas Oliver is supposed to be this magical wizard saving the world. He really does not have time for all these little side quests. Hmm. And yet we're doing them. Hmm. And this is only going to get me forward on one thing. It's not going to let me really improve my gameplay or my lifestyle that much here. Let's see. I can buy items at a slightly lower price. I can collect any gleams at the end of the battle, which is clearly the right one to pick. Or I can lower the cost of uh, continuing the game. Or I could speed boost this guy, which this was not unlocked until we had Tingri. Which we don't need that. This is clearly what we need. Now, if we start grinding, we'll collect any gleams at the end. But yeah, a lot of quests clearly still to unlock, unless even if each one of these items is only one stamp card, you still clearly are going to have to do a whole bunch of quests. Let's see, there's new bounty, hunting things. we have a whole bunch of those already. We also see that there's each one of these, I guess, is a um, quest, and I guess this shows me that wow, there's a lot of quests that I've unlocked in several places. So there's a lot of work that could be done. Or we could try and move the story forward, and it's probably not a terrible thought to instead try and do the quests and look at this. So let's end the game here. Only one thing I want to do is see. It could be a case, certainly, that ingredients are that there might be ways to craft things without having all the ingredients. And so that is a potential consideration. Also kind of wonder if maybe we need to craft things just because we can. I can make 2 stalwart scales. Do you need a stalwart scale to craft something else, though? There really is just not a lot here that you can craft. Even though I have been going over out of my way to collect things. I don't know if I'm supposed to hold on to things like this poison fang so that it becomes an ingredient for something else, or if I should sell all these things to get more gold. I don't even know if I need more gold. I kind of don't feel like I do. And like as far as mix and match stuff, unless there was some trick here where you could just add a whole bunch of coffee together. This does kind of feel like you would waste your time trying to figure out something better. See, these are ingredients. So crafting that's not really a problem. But yeah, unless there's some trick where you put 6 here and then mixed it together and see if that does something for you. Yeah. I think the chance of you successfully crafting anything is almost 0. This whole game is wasting your time. Clearly, though, it's just way too much of a waste of time. We've got all these weapons. Like these claws here. Which, yeah, I don't know if there's something better you could equip. increase the defense, increase the defense. I think that probably is the right move. Whereas this actually increases the defense more. Like, almost certainly I have the right one equipped. But yeah, you just never know. Plus 3 attack and 22 versus 28 defense. That's probably a better move. And 3 magical defense versus automatically avenging. Yeah, I think you want to keep the Avenger's badge on that character. If I had one more of these, I should equip that. I can't hit A and like purchase or equip that. It's a lot. Increases stamina while reduces defense by 2. I feel like stamina probably is better. Yeah, and I definitely need more of these lightning bolts. Evade attacks, but lose defense. It's probably a good one to try. Oh, this is just a lot. It's too much. I guess that's better. I guess this might be better. Actually, that's probably best one for him. Piercing fangs does 5 attack. This does 3 attack. This does 2 attack and magical attack. Hmm. Battler's badge does 2 defense versus 3. Probably that is better. This is probably a major improvement, the Divine Dagger. Yeah, this is a huge waste of time. Doing all this. A lot of these characters I'll just never even play with. Hmm. Yeah, just increase everybody's defense. That's probably the only smart move of that I did. Yeah, it's such a hassle, such a hassle. Where are we on the progress report now? Um, well, Wizard's Companion completion is at 54%, so there's still half of a game as far as getting the books and the main narrative. Creature Compendium is at 34%, so we're only a third of the way there. Task completion, oddly, at 40%, so that leans towards 40%, halfway through the game. Alchemy completion is nowhere at 12%, and we now have unlocked the second to last thing they're going to count, which is hidden treasures found, 2 of 100. So we do kind of know that there's going to be hidden treasures throughout the entire world, and that's going to be more of a reason to potentially go around and look for everything. I think there's definitely a chance that you may need to just run around the entire game. Everything is just moving incredibly slow here. Let's see. And to save, you have to come over here. And at this point, I think we can overwrite this one because we don't want that many save spots. So yeah, I went really too long there. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.